Steve.
Hey, good morning, and I appreciate your giving me an opportunity to speak on the radio about
It's a
this.
pleasure.
I've said it before, but I spent 3 years at the tip of the spear in Afghanistan fighting this war. And here's the problem, both your first callers said, was that we're not fighting a war. We're nation building. That's the construct. The liberals, and it exists under Bush too, and I served under both, but the liberals have created a construct in which the United States cannot win wars. And that is, and that concept is, if you kill any civilians, even one civilian, while taking out 100 ISIS, you've done a really, really bad thing, which is why the rules of engagement are set up that you can't do that. I thought it was, I took with me a rules of engagement sheet that we had to follow because I thought it was hilarious. It was probably 4 by 4 paper or poster that we had in the thing, and seriously, it was legal-like typing on that entire sheet of the hundreds of rules of engagement that you have to follow before you can actually engage an enemy. That what we're doing is nation building. Obama's being drugged to this fight to have to bomb anybody. Because if you look up under the construct of how we're going to fight wars from 2016 to 2028, it's published. You can look it up. Start Googling building partner capacity, and you'll see that the Army's construct is all around not killing an enemy, not doing what we did in World War II or places where we had to go in and actually take out an enemy, but about nation building, about sending, which is why we sent them $600 million and we only trained 60 guys, because we use special operations forces, which are not special forces. They're in the sister unit, trained out of Fort Bragg. But special operations forces are civil affairs and nation builders, much like we have. And Hillary started under the Department of State a civilian reconstruction corps, which is going, and that's why $600 million was a drop in the bucket. It's the same, our American coffers that we gave up in Afghanistan and Iraq to do all the building of stuff, hoping they'll come our way. Not kill them, not take out ISIS, but hoping we'll influence the population at large to come our way, which is why we're now into 15 and 16 years of war in that entire region.
See, how different is this from winning hearts and minds or attempting to in Vietnam and pouring all that money in there?
Well, that's exactly right. It's back through, if you study that, which is where I was trained. I was one of the hearts and minds. That's the Civil Affairs Psychological Operations group of the United States military, which is huge throughout all the branches now. But in the Army, it existed all the way back to George Washington's time. But what I'll tell you is that even Fort Bragg, who trains it at the John Kennedy School of Knowledge,
been there. I was a PSYOPs officer. Been at JFK.
Well, they did not know this. When I was there, I took it very seriously because in my first tour, we lost so many people for worthless reasons. I stayed for 2 more. That's why I stayed for 2 other tours, and I studied it hard. And by the 3rd tour, I got it right. I didn't spend one dime in my 4 provinces, my 4 districts that I had, and I gained ceasefires with Taliban, and we coexisted, and we could have defeated this. Petraeus used to send his guys out to find out how I was doing this, and I said, because you don't even know your enemy, nor are you willing to kill your enemy, and when you identify them correctly, and that's how I'm doing it. And yet I had long discussions with his office, and there was nobody that really understood that we had to get away from nation building if you're really going to win the war. It's about killing people and breaking things in mass quantities. And where we're stuck there is a civil war, and they respect strength and they abhor weakness. And just like, I'm going to say, when we take out the heads of their state, which is why these things all erupt, just like if you're going to take them out, then you got to be ready to come back in and slap them down really hard.
Yeah. Hey, what part of Vietnam were you in? What provinces?
In Afghanistan?
No. The Vietnam. You're studying the Vietnam stuff.
Oh no! I was not in Vietnam.
Oh, okay, all right.
I was in Afghanistan in 08, 9, 10, 11.
I'm going to move along here. Thank you very much, sir. Let's go to Russ in St. Louis.
Good morning.